chocolate skin like you?
Yes. See?
Oh, wow. That she is very pretty. Do you know her name?
Yes.
What's her name?
Tiana.
Tiana.
Princess Tiana.
Princess Tiana. Yeah, she's very special, baby. I'm glad you like your baby doll. You're welcome. Hi, and thanks for joining. Next, you will see the interview that was conducted to one of the teachers that took the training. Thank you for watching. So tell us, what are some ways that you will display diversity in your classroom that you was not doing before?
I noticed in the classroom I just had a United States map, so I'm going to bring in a world map and ask the children where in the world are their families from, and have them point, and we'll make a little pin board with that, including more diverse dolls so the children can play with. I have a cultural show and tell. Have each child from different background come up and tell them a little bit something about their family.
And maybe bring like an artifact or something from.
Right. Or have a potluck, if we could, and have the parents, of course, bring in cultural food. So we have a little taste of where they're from, too.
Imagine coming to school each day with a handshake made just for you, starting your day with your own version of self-expression. How would that make you feel? Would it make you feel special? Would it show you that someone cares about your uniqueness and what makes you different? Hi, I'm Rochelle Magnan, and I'm currently a graduate student at the University of North Carolina at Wilmington. And today I wanted to take some time out to talk to you about the importance of integrating culturally responsive teaching. Little things we do as educators can have a big impact on not only the way that children see the world, but the way they see themselves. Sometimes undiscovered habitudes outweigh the reality of different viewpoints. In 1995, in a study by Lanston Billings on teachers who effectively implement culturally responsive teaching, she found that no matter the teaching strategy or the teaching structure, the most important factor of implementing culturally responsive teaching effectively is the teacher's level of self-awareness and their ability to reflect and examine attitudes that they have towards various cultural traits. Teachers must know themselves, their beliefs, and the backgrounds of their students in order to be able to break through cultural barriers and make cultural connections in the classroom. But this is not an easy task. Transcending multiple cultural barriers is a lot to take on. In an article by Thomas and Keating, they found that teachers are challenged and expected to implement learning experiences that allow children from all different cultures to succeed. And there are many different barriers that teachers can face, whether it be linguistic or religious or cultural perspective. So, how can educators build a supportive environment for diverse families? The answer is through culturally responsive teaching. In 2017, in a study by Thomas Alexander and Harper, they found that teachers lack the skills needed to appropriately teach the increasingly diverse population of today. Because there are many facets that make up family structures. Think about the different qualities that make up your own family and how did they help build you to see the world? What cultural wealth or knowledge, skills, and abilities do you possess from your own upbringing? There are different worldviews based on multiple factors, and that's what makes us who we are. Being considerate of these differences impacts the effectiveness of family engagement, but not only family engagement, but academic success. In a study by Swatu, they found that it also impacts the discipline gap. Neglecting cultural differences impacts the disproportionate amount of children who are reprimanded for actions that are actually culturally normal. No matter where a family is from, it's important to think about methods of communication and interaction that you have with them and the multiple resources you need to meet their needs that insert culture into their educational experience. Here are some things that you can do to make sure you stay on target. Complete a classroom audit. And when you do a classroom audit, you'll be doing these things. Check to make sure that your displays exhibit diversity, different backgrounds for dolls inside of dramatic play, posters that show different communities, books that are in different languages or display different cultures that make sure each family is represented. Also, by incorporating cultural and community demonstrations. Each family that walks in the door comes in with cultural wealth that should be valued in the classroom. That knowledge can be used and incorporated into the academic setting that you've already put in place. Invite them in, see what they'd like to do, what different strategies and abilities they can share with you and your students. Also, through having projects that are tied to family interest. Send home a questionnaire or see projects that are based on things that families are already doing at home. Also, authentic contact and communication with families, making sure that you are sending home communication that are in various languages of the children that you serve. And multiple ways of communicating through interaction with picking up and dropping off, as well as newsletters, possibly journals, and just keeping in touch with families to let them know about their child's academic development. Also, making sure that learning is relevant for all backgrounds helps children succeed. Each child and each family need an individual relationship. Individualization is key in implementing a culturally responsive classroom. As you implement more culturally responsive education strategies, you'll see your relationships start to grow and blossom. Make sure you hit the link below in the description box that outlines a training that you can give to your teachers that talk to them about diversity and culturally responsive teaching. Remember, diversity is what makes us special, and it's to be celebrated and embraced. Next, see more about how to build a sturdy foundation in your relationship with parents through effective communication.
I'll be talking about communicating with families. Just to give you some information about myself, my name is Deja White. I have been teaching middle school math for 2 years in the city of Wilmington. I worked in another career before coming to education, but I have truly found my love in teaching students. I graduated from St. Augustine's University with a Bachelor's of Science degree in Engineering Mathematics. Right now, I am working on my Master's of Arts degree in teaching with a focus on middle school math. In my free time, I enjoy any and everything that has to do with sports. I also enjoy boating, camping, and just being outside. When you think about education, what is the most difficult task of teaching students today? Maybe you will say it's dealing with behaviors or maintaining student engagements. What about the time management or providing quality classroom instruction? Having been in the classroom, I believe that one of the hardest things about teaching is communication with the parents and the family. To communicate with families is a challenge for several reasons. First of all, work schedules do not allow parents to be actively involved and communicate with the teachers regarding the needs of students. Also, some parents are not concerned about their child's welfare in the classroom. Other pressures from life can keep parents from being active and engaged. For some parents, the issues with communicating with teachers go back to language and cultural barriers, particularly when the students do not speak English. In some other cases, communication breaks down because teachers have not earned the trust of the students and their families. The parents do not believe that teachers are truly involved in the child's life and therefore do not trust them to have the meaningful relationships. In older students, sometimes communication can be hindered because students themselves are not willing to build a relationship to help bridge the gap between the teachers and home life. I have witnessed in my own students that I teach that sometimes the issue is that students neglect their own culture, trying to fit in with others. This is a challenge that occurs as students grow to find their place in learning environment. Teachers, however, must learn to work around those challenges and offer their assistance in the best possible way to ensure that students realize that they are trustworthy. Communicating with student families is a major component to building meaningful relationships with students. Without having these relationships with students, there is no way that truly learning can occur. When teachers do not communicate with families effectively and understand the culture of the students that come into the classroom, students are placed at a major disadvantage. This is the primary reason why Thomas and Kearney wrote, teachers have to create learning experiences that allow children to achieve academically. This involves establishing relationships with the families for the best interests of the students. Teachers, as professionals in the room, must work to understand the culture of the students that they teach. If teachers do not appreciate the culture that students bring with them into the classroom, they will easily miss an opportunity to create a connection with the students that will have pushed them forward. The only way that teachers can understand the culture of students is through frequent and regular communications. I have developed 3 strategies to assist in maintaining communication with families. The first strategy is a weekly class newsletter. Teachers will create a weekly class newsletter that includes student work, points of interest, and opportunities for parent involvement. Teachers should include a section at the bottom of each newsletter where parents can write notes back to the teacher and maintain communication with them. This could also occur through student planners. The second strategy that I have is the application Remind. This app, which we use on my grade level team, is an opportunity for teachers to text parents directly through a confidential two-way system. Parents can receive updates about students' behavior and important pieces of classroom information, like homework. Parents can also text the teacher and ask questions all through a secure server without having to disclose personal and private phone numbers. The third strategy that I developed was using parents as in-class residents. Parents volunteer to assist in the classroom as in-class residents. Parents offer their support and their expertise to the students in the classroom. This allows parents and teachers to engage in conversations and to bring the family culture into the classroom. I believe that by incorporating these strategies, it can positively influence reaching out and developing relationships with our families. As we embrace the families and their unique cultures, we make our classroom a better place to learn, love, and grow.